Hey there, how's it going guys? I am Jerry and welcome back to the program, The Chicago Griller. This is the show where I share my favorite tips, tricks, and recipes for the Weber Q. Today, I am going to combine two of my favorite dishes, sushi and steak, and form something truly delicious, sushi steak. So let's go and show you how I do this. For today's sushi steak, we're going to be grilling up this, a 12-ounce flat iron steak that I picked up from Whole Foods. I like using flat iron steak because it's thin, has a lot of flavor, and cooks very, very quickly. Prepping the sushi steak for the grill is very simple. We're going to start with avocado oil because of its high smoke point. I'm just going to drizzle a little bit on top of the steak. Then I'm going to take my hand and gently rub it over the surface of the steak. Once the top surface is evenly coated, we are going to start seasoning the steak. The first seasoning I'm going to use is garlic powder, and I'm just going to sprinkle it pretty liberally on the steak. Next comes the mainstays of salt and pepper. First with the salt, and I'm going to grind this to taste. And again, I'm going fairly heavy on the steak. And like I said, the pepper is coming as well. And we're also going to grind this to taste. And once again, also being pretty liberal with the amount that we grind on top of it. And now we are going to take our hand and gently press the seasonings into the surface of the steak. The oil will help it adhere to the steak. Once completed, we're going to turn this steak over and repeat the process and oil and season the other side. Once you have oiled and seasoned this steak on both sides, we're ready for the grill. We prepped on the patio today, so we didn't have far to go, but first thing we do as always is we're going to scrape our grill grates clean. Once the grates are clean, we're going to shut the lid and let our Weber Q come on up to a high heat. And now let's cook. Just grab your steak and place it directly across the grill. I like putting it at a diagonal, that way it gets some nice diagonal sear marks. Shut the lid and cook this for only about 3 minutes. After about 3 minutes, we are going to open the lid and turn the steak over to the other side. Flat iron steaks can be a little bit difficult to turn with just one set of tongs, so I grabbed the second pair here to assist. And there we go. And now that we're flipped, we're going to go ahead and close the lid and cook for another 3 minutes. And after 6 minutes of total cook time, this steak should be ready to come off the grill. After only 6 minutes, this 12-ounce steak should be cooked to about rare or medium rare. You want sushi steak to be very juicy, so I wouldn't cook it more than medium rare. Anyways, once it's off the grill, we need to let the steak rest, and while it rests, we're going to prepare the rice. So here, I have 1 cup of plain white rice in a bowl. White rice is pretty darn plain, so we're going to sweeten it up a little bit with some mirin, about 1 teaspoon's worth. Then we're going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. And then add some squirts of honey. Use as much or as little honey as you'd like. Then using whatever utensil you have on hand, mix the rice, mirin, salt, and honey together. If you don't have mirin, you could substitute with just regular plain vinegar. At this point, your steak has been resting for about 5 to 10 minutes, and we are ready to go slice it up and cut it open and check it out. And here we are back to our steak. As you can see, some of the juices have run out and back through the steak. I'm going to grab my made-in cookware Santoku knife and cut off a few slices from the ends and work my way towards the middle. And I can see these end pieces are a bit thinner, so they are about medium rare, potentially medium, but more medium rare. So let's slice towards the middle a little bit more and see how it is. And right here in the middle, you can see there is pretty much pink all throughout. So this is definitely a rare to medium rare steak, which is exactly what we're going for. That's perfect. So now let's assemble our sushi steak. Now, there's definitely no non-sticky way to do this, but just grab a ball of rice, either with gloved or wet hands, and then form it into the size and shape appropriate for sushi. Repeat until you've used up all of your rice. Now, I have a lot more rice left to go, but I'm going to show you how to assemble the rest of the sushi steak. Using a pair of chopsticks, we're going to grab a slice of the steak that we cut up earlier and lay it directly on top of the bed of sushi that you just formed. And repeating with the second bed of rice that I formed. There we go. And doesn't that look delicious already? It sure does, but we're not done yet. We are going to add some wasabi to this. Here I have a tube of wasabi that I purchased from a grocery store. And we are just going to squeeze one small dollop onto each sushi steak. There we go. And another dollop on the second one. That's almost perfect. All we gotta do is plate this up on something a lot nicer than this cutting board, and we're ready to serve. So check it out. Here's the final dish. 2 servings of sushi steak, made on a Weber cube. How good do these look? There's definitely no way you could stop with just 2 of them, so add some edamame to the side and continue making the rest of them. Huey, what do you think of sushi steak? And so there you go. That's how you combine 2 of my favorite foods together, sushi and steak, into sushi steak. It's an amazing combination of flavors, from mirin to honey to steak to wasabi. It just all blends together perfectly. Anyways, let me know in the comment section down below if you think it looks good and if you plan on trying it. As always, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this program or found it educational, definitely hit that like button, comment, or subscribe. Thanks again for watching. I come out with new content every Wednesdays and Fridays, so I can't wait to see you all again next time. Thanks, and bye now.